panelists. There will be a number of keynote speakers. There will be a public forum for all of us to wrestle around. But then we're going to have to take some action steps to make sure that all of those things that we talk about are brought into fruition on behalf of the people that we're called upon to serve. And so we just pray that we would be mindful of that we would be prayerful about that, and that we would be willing to do whatever is necessary to curb the violence on whatever level it exists in our society. In 2013 in Fulton County, there was a total of 138 murders, 230 rapes, 4,068 assaults. DeKalb County that same year, there was 63 murders, 145 rapes, 1,426 assaults. Metropolitan Atlanta, #1 city for sex trafficking of minors in the United States, #6 in the entire world. So there are a whole lot of issues that we have to deal with as it relates to what's taking place in our backyard. And so we pray that we will be willing to put our hands to the plow and do whatever is necessary to bring about some positive change in that perspective. And so you will continue to hear more about that as we are able to get more information and able to get things better organized. But you will also, as I've already mentioned, be asked to join together with us to do the work that is required on behalf of all of us. And if you are indeed concerned about any of those issues, you ought to make yourself available to come to the table and do what is required in those matters. And I look forward to engaging each and every one of you in that regard. The other thing that I want to briefly talk about, because we do have our Economic Development Committee coming up on the heels of my report, and they will give you a more expansive understanding of what we're doing, why we're doing it, how we're doing it, as it relates to an initiative that we have been organizing for the past several months. We have been talking about revitalizing the community in our own image, dealing particularly with a Vine City, English Avenue community, doing what we can do to bring in black businesses to buy properties and create an environment where employment opportunity is available for those persons who live in those communities, to build up the infrastructure of that community, creating a sustainable model so that people will have an opportunity to live a better quality of life. And all of us ought desire to live a better quality of life. We ought not be satisfied, with where we are. But what we have been doing through the Economic Development Committee is developing what is called the Black Tag Program. The Black Tag Program. And then we're saying that black businesses can revitalize our community. Black businesses can revitalize our community. And the Black Tag Program, we have created posters that look like this with a black tag on it, with a little bit of information on it. And at a certain day, on a certain day, at a certain time of the day, all across the city, there will be folks standing around with these signs, just to prick the consciousness of people who pass by that want to ask the question, what's that all about? And then the opportunity will exist for those persons who are volunteering with us, who are being trained, who we want to ask to come from our churches. And I'll let the Economic Development Committee encourage us to do that. We want to make sure that they are armed with all of the information that will help them be able to express in clear terms what we're doing and why we're doing it and how important it is for the African American community. And so we want to create this, the Heritage Mile, which goes from Northside Drive to Joseph Lowry, going down MLK and throughout the historic West Side District of Atlanta, and create a model where we believe that the tag, what the tag stands for, is tourism absolutely guaranteed, because there is a lot of historic significance about that community. And Brother Ron, you mentioned that. It was people who come into our communities, regentrify into our communities and push us out. And you've heard me say this before, and I'll say it again. We don't want the blanks, talk about Arthur and them, we don't want the blanks to move in and the blacks to move out. We want the blacks to remain in our community, and we want to build up the community, the infrastructure of our community, so that we can, have the quality of life that we want to have, and be able to, years from now, look at that community to see all of the historic significance that still exists there. That's right. On behalf of our people, preserving our culture, employing the residents who live in that community, and reinvigorating those communities at large. And we believe we can do that.
That's our president, Reverend Brown. I'm real proud of where we are as the concerned black clergy, as we get our leaders to talk about black business. That's historic. We into Black History Month, and for years I have been coming here to this meeting, some 30 years now. And I have been working with every president of this organization. And to see where we are now in working in a collaborative effort with the historic Atlanta Business League, been around for 81 years. Booker T. Washington had a vision, a dream, when he created the National Negro Business League in 1900. So we are representing the oldest business association in this country, because he helped President Roosevelt 12 years later create the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. So blacks created the framework for the business organizations that exist in this country. As such, we want to take our human capital, take the experience we have gained over the past 40, 50 years as a result of the civil rights movement, and lift us up. We don't have to wait for anyone else. And that's what this campaign is all about, through the Economic Development Committee, through the Black Church, in collaboration with Overground Railroad, who represent the Connector, which is the second largest newspaper distributed in the state of Georgia, through the Black Church, so we become visible. We're going to say to the world, we can revitalize our own communities. Now, we're not just saying that, we're going to do that. We had to come up with a system. You know, the civil rights movement didn't happen just because someone said we need to do it. That's right. That was a strategy to put a system in place to make that happen. My husband, as a student at Morehouse College, James Bussey, as a teenager started Bussey's Florists. That was in 1962. Now, he didn't know all the answers, he didn't know what, but he had a passion, because he happened to work as a teenager, 12, 13 years old, where he got exposed to the industry and decided, I could do this for my community. And you know what? We're still doing it. And we have trained others to do it, to build capacity for blacks in our community all over the world. So we have put a system in place for you to be able to use black businesses whenever you choose, to send flowers all over the world. We developed that system to build the black community. Now guess what? We're going to look at how we can build the buildings, own the houses, and own the businesses inside the houses, inside the businesses, and the buildings. So that's what this is all about. Putting a plan of action in place with the leadership of our community, the spokespersons in our community, those are our pastors. And you heard about the Overground Railroad. March to March is one of the next steps. And Reverend Timothy McDonald is the main convener. And he's right here, been here all these years, and now know how. Did you see yesterday's paper? In yesterday's paper, all of the development on the north side, all from the Mercedes-Benz dealership, from all those companies the governor has gotten to come in here. I was looking, they had the names of the developers that's going to build all these areas, and I was looking for the black businesses. See, black developers exist, but it depends on our governor and our elected officials, our leaders, and our church, who's going to say, where are the black developers? I saw two. That was H.J. Russell Company, and now Jerome Russell. His son is carried on the legacy. And I saw C.D. Moody from DeKalb County. But he also was trained by Herman Russell. They were listed, and I was really happy to see at least 2 black businesses, all he made 8 to 12 developments on the north side. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna stress what we're gonna do on the south side. That's right. So without further ado, I wanna bring up our strategist and coordinator for this major effort to make us visible. And that's none other than Joe Hudson, founder and president of Hudson Strategic Group. Let's welcome him.
Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody? Wonderful. Anybody remember? There's a couple songs. I'm just going to introduce it. There was a song that somebody sang that had the line, "What's it all about?" Right? Remember that? And then there was another song that said, by a sister that said, "Are you ready?"
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. I'm going to tell you what it's all about. I'm going to question whether it is that you're ready. Then we're going to do this. Because what it is since November, I made a presentation, I guess it was in October of last year, about the potential of black businesses revitalizing this community and why economically it was a sound idea. Not just because we're old or anything out of that ilk, but out of the economics, out of the fact that black businesses provide jobs, black businesses provide taxes, 66% of our employees are going to be black, all that kind of stuff. We can do this, and because primarily, since Maynard Jackson was our mayor, he created a program that has resulted in where we have the potential of really pushing out today. What I'm saying is back in the 70s, when he opened up City Hall to enable black folk to get business contracts, they spawned a generation of black businesses second to none in the United States of America.